So today, right, Tycoon Thursday going to start slightly earlier at 7 p.m. So welcome for those who are in. And so what happened is Resh unfortunately couldn't make it at the last minute. I think he had some personal things to settle. So I'm in again. Right, you see my face again. For those who don't know me, my name is Marc. Right, I'm Team Resh 001. Right, and I'll be here. Right, I'm here to interview. Right, and also to find out from Sean about what today's topic. Right, which is where does he see this coming earnings season coming in. Right, so that's what I'm going to talk about. But earnings season is coming. Right, we have some companies that already started reporting earnings. Right, but what happened is what are we going to see for the next coming quarter and what we're going to see for the rest of the year. Right, so I think America just reported, I think, its highest day ever as well. Right, a lot of interesting things are coming on, but the stock market is still going much higher, right? Contrary to what a lot of people think. So Sean, right? So Sean, welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm going to start off with my first question. Right. So very simply, right? Wall Street actually expects the past quarter's earnings, right? To actually decline by 44%, right? Which is actually the worst drop since the fourth quarter of the Great Recession 2008, right? So where do you see the earnings season coming in this quarter and even for the rest of the year? I think that's something that every one of us is actually very interested to find out more about. So Sean, where do you see it?
Okay, where do you guys think this is going, man? Like, now it depends on really what you're asking. If you're asking me about the economics, the foundation, I think I got a lot more to explain or like share my ideas. Now, firstly, if you notice, the second wave of COVID is happening. I mean, this is to nobody's surprise, right? But the thing is this, how are people expecting it to turn out? You see, now there's a lot of people on so-called Wall Street, right? Okay, when you say Wall Street, again, you must understand something. Wall Street says different things. When you open any website, there are people saying opposing things. I remember a quote saying this, when you buy a stock or you sell a stock, right, you must buy it from someone or you must sell it to someone. So at any single point in time, right, when a transaction go past, someone is buying, someone is selling, and they are transacting with each other. And both of them thinks that they're correct. You know what I'm talking about? So if everybody thinks alike, there will be no more movement in the stock market. So understand something. Wall Street is not one single person. It's a collective idea. But we can see whether there's more votes towards certain area. Right now, more optimism. Why? Because we can see market going up, correct? So let me share with you some of my thoughts based on that in a moment's time. Now, let's talk about the foundation. Foundation-wise, economy-wise, do you think it's going to recover by the end of this year? If yes, please type yes. If no, please type no. What do you guys think, okay? So, by the way, I see a very wise person called Cassandra. She said that she had early dinner so can attend Tycoon Thursday with two handsome mentors. I think she's talking about you, okay, Marc? Okay, so just you. Where got two? You and me, Marc, right? Okay. Okay, so do you think it's going to recover? Okay, now you must understand a few things. Now, in US, politics is in play. And when there is health issues versus politics, right? Guess which one would the government take? I'll say place emphasis on. If you think they are more concerned about the health of the public, right? Type H. If you think they are more concerned about winning the politics, type P. I think from their actions, right? From my opinion, it is a little bit more obvious. Politics is more important right now. Therefore, they cannot think long term. Now, when they cannot think long term, right? What it means is they will take very short term action to try to push and open the economy. They take Donald Trump even say that they shouldn't wear masks. I don't know whether he has changed recently, but
actually he wore masks, right, for the first time in public.
When he was visiting one of the COVID patients, and you can see, right, what this means is the COVID is going to hit a second wave, and a lot of places have a second shutdown already. Guys, this is not a joke, lah. I mean, I think we all know that it's serious, but I think Wall Street don't know how serious this is. Okay, why? One more thing is this: what is the best possible news that can happen right now? Anybody can tell me what's the best possible news? We have many bad news. Hong Kong is facing one of the worst news right now. I mean, if you have read, a lot of companies is facing earnings issue. Facebook is getting hit by Apple. Some of Apple is fighting against them. Many bad news. What is the best news we can have right now? What do you all think? Finally, the Donald Trump march, right? Yeah, I think it's 40 or something like that. They have all-time high death. Yes, the best news that can ever possibly happen is vaccine. Okay, so everyone, they actually become happier when there's a vaccine, right? So I got a question to ask you guys. Yes, Gary, that's right. Now, but let me ask you something. oh, COVID is finishing. Okay, I mean, when you say COVID is finishing, finishing means the whole entire world suddenly disappear. That will not be possible, correct? I mean, even all the other flus, everything else has never been finished. Has never been, So it's just that humans begin to learn how to manage it. Manage meaning to say our immunity system build up towards it. There's another theory. There's this thing called herd immunity. I don't know, have you heard before? Have you heard of this theory? Herd immunity.
Yeah.
It means everybody go and kena one time, everybody go and get COVID, and then after that your body build immunity, and that's it. People who survive, people who die. That's it. There's actually some countries who actually believe in that. I think Sweden actually.
Sweden is a big country. They just like go out and kena.
It is very irresponsible to the elderly, because the people who are actually being fatal is the elderly. It's very sad. Now, okay, so I think Jennifer said that there's 1 more year to vaccine, correct? Now, this is projection. Now, a vaccine has not been found, okay? Has not been so-called gone through the whole entire process. It takes about 1 year minimally to get it, okay? Now, after they get it, they will develop, correct? And then they will mass produce. Probably take another 3 months to 6 months. Now, let me ask you something, guys. Let me ask you something. You guys tell me about this. If, right, they say, yes, a vaccine has been found. Guys, tomorrow you can go to your clinic and take the vaccine. How many of you tomorrow will go? Tell me. Ready? If they announce, vaccine has been found at last. Tomorrow, you can go to the clinic and go and get the vaccination for COVID. Okay, maybe you don't think about yourself as I know the picture is not so real, right? But imagine you got young children. If you got young children, will you bring your child, say, hey, come, go and take the vaccine? When it's just brand new, when they say they launch it. How many of you will do it? Will you take or will you wait? Take or wait? You think about it carefully. Because I read a study that says, right, all the vaccines that's been created, when they first launch it, nobody dared to take. You think about it this way, seriously, you're willing to take the vaccine? Now, what is inside the vaccine? Most of the time, inside the vaccine, it is the bacteria or the virus itself they inject into you. It is just that they inject in a certain way that your body can accept and build the immunity. So I can tell you, now we can say, oh, the vaccine come, we'll take, right? But when it happens, right, based on past data, most people will say, hey, chotomate, wait for a while. Let's see anybody take already, got people die or not. So you think, so meaning to say, right, the whole entire vaccine journey may take up to 2 to 3 years. Minimum. So this is what we're looking at. If it's going to take up to 2 to 3 years, right, the things around the world will not be the same for another 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Traveling will be different. Business will still get hit. Even you want to spend, you also cannot go outside. You have to wear masks. A lot of experiences will be different. Cinemas definitely will be hit. Disney, one of my favorite stock, only can open 30%. Correct? You know, things like that. It will be hit. So this is what's going to happen to the economy. If you ask me about earnings seasons, I confirm I feel that there will not be any surprises. You told me that Bank of America went down, correct? Not surprising. Actually, it's more surprising if they don't lose so much money. Okay, I mean, even if they don't lose so much money, it's like considered a good news already. If they don't lose as much, or if they drop not as much, if they actually make more, which is a very small group of companies will make more, like technology company and all that. I think okay lah. People already placing a certain expectation for the companies, correct? Now, let's come to this group of people called Wall Street lah. I was having a conversation with my team. Okay, so me, Felicia, I mean some of them you also, right? So a group of us, we were talking about this in the afternoon. We discussed, we dissect some of the stocks and things like that. She was, I mean, they were asking me this thing. Is there this, can we price, you see, the stock price since the beginning of time, right? Given time, immunity only for 6 months, what do you mean?
People does it last only 6 months?
There's also news. People who recover from COVID, they didn't really totally recover.
They can do and
there's certain very bad side effects and things like that. So they may do a second time. Okay, we don't know. We really don't know. Okay. Now, so you must understand that this is not something that will be done very. I mean, okay, I may sound like a little bit pessimistic here, but I'm an investor. I'm also a father of 3 kids. I also have elderly parents. So I think in that perspective, and I can tell you it's not just me, a lot of people around the world is thinking like that. Now, the only people who seldom think like that is maybe slightly younger people. Maybe Marc won't think so much, okay? And by the way, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. Okay. So in US, they did have a report. They say that the younger group of people, because they are stronger and they do not have so many cares in the world, right?
Yeah.
They behave slightly differently. So they are also saying that the stock market a lot is actually boosted by younger people who did not actually think to the expect whether there'll be any implications. So from election, for a lot of things, right, the young people actually drive a lot of things, which is very interesting. But the world belongs to the younger crowd, which is very, very cool. When they experience all this, the younger crowd, right, they will have an amazing experience that help them become much stronger, So kudos to the young people. So now let's go to the Wall Street. If we can take a look at Dow Jones, I think I'm going to pull out my just pull out the screen. Otherwise, they keep seeing our face. No point, right?
Nah.
Okay, Dow Jones. You all can see all. Okay, guys. So let me zoom in a bit. Let me explain what I see. Okay, I may not be correct, by the way, guys. So I'm also interested to hear what Marc has to. Hey, don't just let me do all the talking, bro. So you can
wisdom from you, wow, happy,
you're the young guy. You must hear what you think. So what has Team Resh been thinking about regarding the market? I'm interested to know. So I'm sure like Team Resh also talk about like investing and things like that. So what is the perspective like this earnings season?
Yeah, so I think our thesis honestly hasn't changed, which is we look at it very fundamentally, which is that that because of this period, right, some stocks are going to rise so much and so much faster than a lot of companies that fall behind. So for us, technology companies are the ones that we are focused on, right? Which is why we really wanted people to attend your tech valuation workshop the last week. I think that was great. I think a lot of people had great reviews about it. But our take is that like because of this entire COVID, right, the face of businesses is going to change forever, and digital will be the new norm, right? So at least for me, I've been focusing a lot on technology businesses, right? Companies that will do well regardless of market situation. But obviously, Resh, when he does his 3M live trade sessions, right, he's going to talk about like when is he going to buy a put for the market to hedge the market and everything. But for me personally, my take is I'm very confident about my positions because with options, especially, right, when I lower my risk and I actually accelerate my returns with companies, I know that after this crisis, right, and beyond, they're going to go so much higher. So companies in the e-com space and everything. So I look at it more from that perspective, right? So that's something that we are very excited and all about. So do we think the market will go up further? Right, my take is there's probably going to be a drawback because of a lot of fear that's going to come soon, right? But who knows? I could be wrong. But either way, right, I'm happy because I know that the companies I invested in is going to go up.
That's right. So actually, in the end, right, we talk so much talk with you guys for 1 hour every Thursday. In the end, we know that we can be wrong, man. It's like there's no guarantee to be correct, but you must have a thesis. You must actually have your own independent thinking. Now, guys, if you want to become a strong investor, you want to become an investor that continuously make money every single month, every single year. Maybe not every month also possible with options right now. Last time I don't have to say every month until I learn options, but now every month, every year, make continuously, right? Can you please type me and then click the like button and please help us share this also. Now, very importantly, you got to develop your own independent thinking. Now, let me share with you my perspective. Now, I see that the stock market has bounced back up, right? You can see it was 29,000, now bounced back up to about 26,000. Okay, now. But we do know that the economy right now, I don't have a pen to draw this or what, but you all can see my mouse, right? Can you all see my mouse?
Can.
Okay, so if you all can see, right, the economy actually went down by about 44%. Like I mean, whatever that they measure, it's just a guesstimate. It's just a guesstimate. So let's say the economy is here and the stock market is here. Okay, why is that so? Why is it that we know that the economy is going to be worse, but the stock market increase? Why? It's because the stock market is forward-looking. Meaning to say, they say, yes, stock market is, the economy will go down, but it will bounce back up. Correct? You understand that, correct? If you understand what I'm talking about, stock market is guessing. Now, 3, 4, 5 months later, it will be better one. That's why they buy the stock first. Okay, before the data shows, they buy the stock first, and that's why the price goes up now. What needs to happen, right, for it to justify this price that went up is for the companies or for the economy to show that they really are recovering. And then that's where this price will be justified. Now, when I talk about justify, right, means that to support the whole idea that the price goes up. They believe that there will be a V-shaped recovery. So stock market shows that, okay, stock market is forward. Can you type forward? Means they guess the future. They buy Tesla and the price goes up a lot because they guess the future belongs to Tesla. So I want to participate now, and then I'm buying into the future of Tesla. That's why they are buying the future. That's why stock market goes up now.
Speaking of which, Tesla just shot up like crazy, right? In the recent 2 weeks, man. Like all the way now to about 1,500. Yeah.
What did they go up? Because they make money, is it?
I think that like good news and everything, and people like were more confident in their ability to scale. But Yeah, so talk about future, right? Tesla is one stock that just went and shot up like crazy, man.
Correct. Hey, so I was looking back here, right? At this point in time, it went down until here, right? Suddenly it goes up. You realize that, right? Do you remember what happened at 23rd of March? It hit the bottom and then it goes up. Do you remember what happened? Something must have triggered, right, before it went up, right?
Yeah.
Now you know what's
stimulus package?
Yeah,
not wrong.
Stimulus package, and then they start to say, they say reopening of economy. So this is the part, right? They actually they a lot of portion they say that they are dealing with it. Then they start to have news about vaccine. They talk about people dealing. I mean, they talk about we able to deal with it, and then people's confidence start to rise. They feel that it's not doom and gloom anymore. But actually, from now, right, from then until now, right, nothing has changed. As in, there's no news justifying back then saying that we actually deal with it. So, but it's okay. People are still optimistic. But by the way, given long run, I'm also optimistic. But I'm just saying that right now, this price, think about it this way. So these earning seasons, let's come back to earning seasons, right? Only two things can happen. Only two things. Now, many things can happen, but I'm going to categorize it into two categories. One is there is good news. Okay?
Yep.
So what is good news? They beat earnings estimates. So, okay, by the way, when I talk about earnings estimate, means that experts or like fund managers, they are trying to guess, this company, are they going to make this amount? If they drop this amount, how much going to make? Cool. So if they beat estimates, right, it's considered good news. If they never beat estimates or they meet, is considered not good news. Not good news means relatively bad. Make sense so far? Now, for the price, right, to be able to justify at this height, right, it has to have good news. You know what I'm talking about? It has to have relatively good news. If you keep hearing bad news for the next 2-3 weeks, right? Now let me ask you this: if the next 2-3 weeks all bad news, right, what will happen to the stock price? Go up or go down? If all bad news, meaning you say, wow, this guy, this company, you're saying, I think TSMC is coming out, right? If let's say they actually lose money, then people already guess they lose money, but they lose. Actually, people didn't guess they lose money, but they lost more than what people expect. Now, if all the bad news come out, stock price will go what? Okay, I know Johnson & Johnson, but I'm saying generally generally. Johnson & Johnson medical, correct, medical stocks. But if you look at the DJI or S&P 500, thankfully, about 30% is actually technology stocks, okay? Now, so you can see now, if let's say there's a lot of bad news, price will go down, correct? Because people start to realize that, oh, shucks, our optimism, maybe we shouldn't be so optimistic because a lot of bad news, so maybe it'll go down, correct? I mean, this is based on logic. Based on logic. Will it really happen? I don't know. Cannot be bad news.
Sean, so one thing I realize is that sometimes even when a company beats the earnings estimates, the revenue targets, everything, right, all they have to say this word like lower guidance, right? We expect the rest of the way to be lower. And the stock can go short down, man. And that I think that's something that I learned, which is that when the company goes down because of reasons that's not fundamental, right? Doesn't affect the fundamental, that actually presents huge opportunity. So personally for me, right, I hope that some of the great stocks go down, man. Hopefully some bad news, they give some bad guidance, right? And because if it doesn't affect the fundamentals, I'll be so excited to purchase them. So at least that's my point of view. What do you think, Sean?
I like to look for short-term bad news. And so I like to look for short-term bad news and long-term good news. Okay? Yours here. Actually, we were just discussing this afternoon. You see, there are two pieces of news: good news and bad news. Okay, good news, there can be long-term and short-term. If it's short-term good news, the price spike up. I'm going to avoid, man. It's like, it got nothing to do with me. It's like, yes, we beat earnings this quarter, the price shoot up. I say, hey, it's very short-term, super short-term. It may come down again, one. But if it's a long-term good news, like, we found a new technology, we have a new patent. The industry actually now want to all buy electric cars because government no longer wants to have those gas emission kind of car. Wow, this is long-term good news, That's where you can find opportunity. So good news must be long-term. Now, bad news, I look for short-term bad news. We miss earnings part, go down. Or forward guidance not so good. Short-term one. Short-term, I'm talking about the next 1 year. So short-term bad news, price goes down. That's where you can take advantage. But bad news, if it's long-term, then don't touch. Right? Let's say, what is a long-term bad news? So for example, one of the company I was talking about with my team is this company called New Star. They actually do fiber optics. Hey, by the way, when I dig back into it, it's very interesting, maybe I stop sharing the screen so I can. Now, there's this company called New Star Fiber Optics. That one is about 6-7 years ago, right? This one was a very hot stock, It reminds me of like, I don't want to say like cloud, cloud computing, all that is the hot thing now, right? Last time there was a point in time, fiber optics is a hot thing.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of fiber optics? It is now you listen to fiber optics like what the shit. It's like every TV also got lah. But last
new
time
technology, faster internet, and yeah.
I don't know. Suddenly I feel very old lah. But okay, fiber optics. So the whole entire fiber optic things right. Wow, the whole entire stock price went up so much, Then so the thing is this. But after that there was a bad news that this particular company called New Star lost a contract with Samsung, which actually consists of 40% of their revenue. So suddenly they lose 40% forever lah. I mean they have to fight it back. This one is a long-term bad news. Don't go and touch lah. Unless you can go and calculate. Do they drop more than 40% and it's justifiable? But you must understand, if they lose a major customer, the fundamentals change. Because a lot of other small companies may not want to work with them also. So there's quite a few things on. Now, coming back to the stock market, right? My point is this. Jaren mentioned, correct, earnings can swing both ways. But right now, sorry, don't mind, you just pull back the slide again. I mean, not slide, the Dow Jones again. Now, again, Dow Jones, you all take a look at this. Two things can happen. One is bad news. Okay, one is bad news lah. Means, oh dear, our optimism has not been justified. Likely, it will drop lah. Correct, likely it will drop. Does it make sense? Now, what happens if there's good news? Can I ask you guys this? If let's say, they keep beating earnings, keep beating earnings, what will happen to the stock market? If a lot of companies they beat earnings, meaning to say doesn't mean they make more money than last year, but they didn't lose as much money as people think. So what will happen? If there's a lot of good news, where will stock market go? Can you please type?
Yeah, so as long as they beat estimates, right? So I think right now the analysts are already like pricing them down and everything. So they just have to beat the estimates, right? It could actually just spike up and everything, man.
Yeah, you see, you know what's the funny thing? You know what's the funny thing or not? If they actually beat estimates, right? By logic, right? The stock market should say, oh good, this is exactly what we expected. Therefore, the price shouldn't move. Why? Because the price now, you look at the price now, guys, it already
forward.
It already considered the fact that there's optimism already. But when there's more optimism, the price will be shooting up higher. So now, my point is this. My point is the stock market is illogical. When you talk about Wall Street, right, they cannot see beyond a lot of things. So this whole entire earnings, right, if you ask me, you can do a few things. I mean, if you only know how to do stocks, you better don't touch. I would suggest you don't touch if you only know how to do stocks. If you know how to do options, you can actually take maybe even straddle positions. You know what I'm talking about? But this one you should have set it up a few weeks ago. Because right now I think it's very volatile. So straddle positions means, right, if it goes up, you make money. If it goes down, it makes money. But it doesn't move, then nothing happens. But you based on current situation, right, it's a very tense situation. The market needs to be correct. Otherwise, they will go down. But if the market is correct, they gain confidence and it will go up. The market, if soon everything, if it's just nice, all the estimates hit exactly as per that price, right? Then you'll go flat, which is super unlikely. Okay. So right now, I'm going to suggest to you guys, right? I think exactly what I'll do like Mark. We have a watch list of stocks that we want, correct? Hopefully there are more bad news. When the price goes down, that's where you can enter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So okay. So yes, Johnson & Johnson, they top Q2 earning forecast. Let's see the stock price today. Now, but you see, Johnson & Johnson, okay, we see what happened now. So the market is so illogical to the point, okay, depends on your stand. If you have the stomach to take long-term, okay, which is 2-3 years, which by the way you should, okay, long-term investing, you can just collect, even go up, go down, never mind, 4-5 years later, it's okay one. So for me, right, actually, like example, Disney, I still have a very long-term optimism about it. Maybe, okay, today we also spoke about the market. You must understand something, guys. The stock market is ruthless. What do I mean by that? A lot of us, we don't go inside the stock market because we want to support the charity. You know what I'm talking about? We actually give to charities, right? But we don't go into the stock market because we support and want to help the economy. So, frankly, why do any of y'all go to the stock market? Tell me this. What is your reason for going to the stock market? Oh, you go buy stocks, right, Mark? Do you buy?
Of course. Yeah. So options more fun.
Oh yeah, correct. So options is actually to reduce your risk significantly from the stocks. So example, Disney, frankly, although I sort of like in my heart I support Disney, but you see, if Disney doesn't do well, I'll not go and buy the stock, you see. So it's very ruthless one. is to make money one. You don't be naive and think
don't
that
buy stocks just because you like the product, right? So for me, like I took a Tesla car once last year during my birthday, right? And I loved it, right? But I was so tempted to buy the Tesla stock, but honestly, I wasn't very comfortable with the financials, everything. So I was like, okay, chill, gotta chill, right? I want to buy the car next time, right? Maybe I'll grow older, whatever, but not the stock, because that's not something I'm very comfortable. So yeah, I think that's a very good reminder. Like, hey, if you like the company, what they do, right, doesn't mean you have to go and buy a stock and like support them and cheerlead them just because you are an investor. So the whole point, like you said, is to earn money and grow money, right? Which is what Kelvin says, increase your net worth.
Yeah. Hey, the stock market is ruthless one. There's no kind-heartedness for anyone in the market. You all must understand this. Now, that being said, right, you can become an investor who is very value-based. Like for me, I don't like to invest in, example, tobacco stocks or certain stocks that I feel that's very harmful. Now, Coca-Cola, do I invest? Actually harmful also, but okay. But that one is your own fault. You also go and take. Okay, so certain things that are obviously harmful, I will not go and invest. But you also must be careful. Example, Disney. I do like Disney products a lot. I do support the movies and stuff like that. Then that's where you must be additionally careful. When you invest at time, are you emotionally, I would say, invested also? So this kind of stocks, especially if you find that you like the products a lot and you want to own the stocks a lot, it's a good thing. It's conviction, Mark, right? It's conviction. But there may also be blindness. Love is blind. So there's the point in time that we put in like options. We can put in options and then go for long run. So I think Bank of America, I think it also went down. Goldman Sachs also went down. These are all the Warren Buffett stocks. And
yeah, so speaking about loving companies, so I think one thing is for some of our mentorship students, right, we actually have Mary Buffett to come on live to share about some of her favorite sectors, the stocks she's looking at right now. And one sector that she has, I think since I was a student, like close to 10 years ago, was the banking sector. She loves it. She keeps talking about the banks, right? So like at least for herself, Sean, like I know you have been talking to Mary as well, right? I've been mentored by her for over the years. Like, where do you see the banking industry moving towards in the next few years? Because I think some people are saying, hey, like, why do I need a bank when I can just transfer money via PayPal, right? Whether it's Square, like, where do you see banks moving? Do you think they're evolved? Do you think less people be using them, right? Where do you see them in, like, not even this quarter, but in beyond?
It's very interesting. Now, you must understand something, guys. Banks, right, is not just a business. There's a lot of political, I would say, it's a political instrument. So government uses bank, right, in certain ways to help is to help the economy. I'm very positive towards all these things. Meaning to say, right, I don't see like a conspiracy theory. I find it super funny when I look at the videos of people talking about bank being a conspiracy theory. Okay, but by the way, you must understand, bank, right, is a very powerful tool to spread money to people. Okay, so that's where they actually control interest rate. Okay, now, so I think, right, because it's a very powerful thing. Can bank make good money in a low interest environment? Answer is definitely there'll be some headwind. Okay, there'll be some issues. But banks, they make money through many, many things. Okay, so example, a lot of the banks, right, they link up with brokerage firms. So when you start to trade the market and stuff like that, they do make some money. I think that's why Citibank, they actually make more money than expected. So they have many ways to make money. You don't have to be too worried about banks. But even the Bank of Japan, right, they have been having negative interest rate for many years, but they are still making money. Okay, because banks have a lot of products. Okay, it's not just about lending money to us, okay. But you think about it this way, ma. So when we put inside bank, our interest rate we get lesser. So they will always take the margin. You see, they will always take the margin. They will never lend you money and charge interest lower than when you put deposit in. So they are taking your money, they give you a bit of money, they give you a bit of interest here, and then they lend people money, and then they charge interest here. So they will always be having a buffer on their margin. Don't be worried about them. The concern about banks mainly is non-performing loans, which a lot of banks that specialize lending to small companies they will get hit big time. So Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they'll be getting hit. Now, moving forward, right, I think bank have certain issues to settle. So example, are you still there? Okay, I'm still there. That's why bank keep calling us every day for loan. That one very irritating. But always very nice to them. The guy on the other side of the phone, they are also having a job. So be nice to them. Just say, okay, hey, thanks a lot. I'm not interested. Bye bye. Tom, just put down. Don't waste their time. My wife, I talk to them for half an hour. She's very nice. Don't want to say she's then waste time. They could have gotten a better what do you call it, commissions. Okay, now a lot of people talk about cryptocurrency, correct? Now, guys, maybe I just share with you my perspective of cryptocurrency. Again, I don't know how long it will take for people to accept cryptocurrency as a very stable currency. Cryptocurrency is a little bit more like gold. We mentioned that, right, that time? Now, but you see, for a currency, when we talk about currency, it means money, right? Money, ma. Now, you all use money to buy things, right? So for currency to be a currency, right, a few things need to be in place. Okay, the first thing is this, okay. So for me, I realized that Bitcoin is not ready yet. In my opinion, it's not ready yet. Okay, but I think it's getting faster and faster, Now, because I personally, I went to go and open up a Bitcoin wallet just to test out how it's like.
Oh, wow.
Hong Kong, everything is very interesting, right? You can there's a Bitcoin ATM. Any of you guys got Bitcoin before? You've got Bitcoin, you can type Bitcoin. Now, this affects banks also. This affects banks. Because if Bitcoin can, and all the digital currency can overtake bank, then no need for banks already, ma. And then government cannot control also. Correct? Now, but government can
in the far future, right? There's so much more growth that they have to do. A lot of things they have to overcome, right? During this period.
Mainly it's regulation. Mainly it's regulation. Because if the government don't allow shops to accept Bitcoin, then how? Because you see, then they cannot check how to tax you, correct? How much income you make and stuff like that, correct? Or some of you have Bitcoins, right? So
wow. Henry looks like he wants to buy already because you're going to buy. Wow, Sean the Bitcoin.
Let me explain to you. So, by the way, please go and also have this period of adventure, lah. So for me, I always like to test out new things. So I test out so many things. I test out forex, options. Then, as I test out a lot of things, then I realize, hey, these are things that work for me, and these are things that don't work. So I test forex. Oh, I burn until my house almost burned down. Okay. But when I did options, right, I can buy a few more houses. Okay. So there are certain things that works, lah. So I test out Bitcoin. Now, because I don't like to just say, hey, it works, it doesn't work without testing out, right? I went to buy Bitcoins, and then I wanted to buy something using Bitcoins. That time I couldn't remember. It was like a few years ago. Okay, maybe the technology has changed. So maybe it's been updated. So I need to actually refresh myself. I want to buy a watch online. I didn't really want a watch. I just want to see whether I can buy or not. See whether the transaction goes through.
Yeah.
There are a few websites that accept Bitcoins. So I wanted to go and buy the watch. So I went to check. Okay, the watch is about 100 Sing dollars, which I remember is 0.007 Bitcoin, something like that. I remember the 0.007 Bitcoin. Then I went to go and fund my Bitcoin account so that I can go and buy the watch, ma. So when I went to fund the account, right, it took me about 1-2 days to fund because I was figuring things out.
Yeah.
So I go back to the website after I funded, right? I check. Okay, the watch is there, 100 Sing dollars. And when I want to buy, right, it becomes 0.009. That's it. Hey, wow, how come it went up by almost nearly 20%, you know? So
just like that.
About 10%, about 10%. Very, very funny, right? So I after that I went to try to do Bitcoins. Okay, I try to use Bitcoin to transact. I never speculate in Bitcoin. I want to see whether is it a good currency. Because only when it's a good currency, then I want to invest, Mark, right? So what happened is, right, I went to a few websites, I tried to buy things, I checked within a few minutes, right, the price can fluctuate one. Then I was thinking to myself, I mean, I was thinking to myself, imagine you want to go and buy a hamburger. So you go to the hamburger shop, then you ask the counter, the person, the lady at the counter, oh, how much is the hamburger? She say $5. Then you turn around to take your wallet. When you take the $5 to her, she said, "Oh no, now it's $6." I said, "Oh, how come suddenly so fast?" She said, "Oh, because the currency that we're using fluctuate a lot." Then after that, and then I take out $6. She said, "Oh no, now becomes $6.50." Wow, it's like no, because Bitcoin is traded, you know, right? When it's traded and it fluctuates so much, right? Then wow, how do I actually use that currency? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, this is the first thing. Then second thing is I don't care lah. So for me, I say never mind. Whatever amount I just pay because I want to see whether it's that. After I pay, right, they need to verify my Bitcoin. Guess how much time they take to because you know when you actually transact using cryptocurrency, the fact that it's crypto on the whole entire blockchain, right? You need to be verified. You guess how long it takes to verify my transaction? Can you make a guess?
A few hours or something.
Oh yeah, Henry, it can be cheaper also. That time I calculated, right. I mean I checked lah. The website Kyung say verifying. It's like it took me 78 minutes. 78 minutes to verify.
But wow, to purchase like one watch, imagine it's like wow, how are you going to transact like everyday items with Bitcoin, man? Because it's like it takes 70 minutes.
Yeah. So imagine a hamburger. So that at last you buy 650. Then you say, wait, I must check whether your money is real or not. Then 1 hour later, you know that, hey, well, forget it, I don't eat my burger, right? So that was my experience with Bitcoin. May not be accurate, guys. Again, I just want to share that as an investor, have the spirit of testing. Okay, can you guys put adventure? Take investing like an adventure. Go and test things out. You know, I always feel that Netflix is something that can be what do you call it? Can be done without lah. But today, right, because I canceled my credit card and then my Netflix, right, couldn't log in because my credit card, I changed a new credit card. They say the credit card I need to log in. You know, wow, I suddenly got kanchong. You know, I quickly go and change my. So I go and key my credit card again. When I key my credit card for Netflix, right, I realized, hey, wow, maybe I really need this product. So be adventurous. Go and test out things. Be a very fun investor lah. For me, I love to do that. So I buy things that I like, but of course there may be a danger. There may be a danger of falling in love with it. So in the end, still position size, still do your homework, and when you use options, that's where I like to use options.
Yeah, but remember, guys. So Sean said yes, he bought Bitcoin, but it was not to speculate. It was not to invest. Hopefully, it will grow, right? It was more of just testing out the technology, and it is great, right? So I think this is one term that Peter Lee said, right, which is called scatterbutting, right? Which in kind of the companies you want to invest in, right? Can you actually go down and see for yourself, like actually test out for yourself the product, the business, right? To see whether it's something that's actually working. Because if all you do is just look at annual reports, right, looking at news, right, it might not be the best way to look through. But what Sean did was obviously a great way to actually find out like whether Bitcoin is something that's going to be used right now, right? And obviously he didn't speculate or invest in it, but actually tested it out.
Someone mentioned that something is wrong. Someone mentioned that cannot be so long.
Maybe you're shocked.
I think scatterbutting is my if I'm not wrong. Scatterbutting. Philip Fisher. I think, but Peter Lynch did mention if you cannot using a crayon, you cannot describe the kind of business you want to invest. Then don't invest. Yeah, but the whole idea is similar. Go and have fun, guys. Investing can be super fun, and you can build up your funds one. So that's where we love to do these kind of things lah. If you don't understand, go and try to understand. Spend some money. You may find your next $1 million, $1 billion company. And then that's where we invest really like nicely lah. Okay.
Yeah. So guys, if you like what Sean has been sharing for the past 37 minutes, right? Help me type enjoy, right? Help me share this post. I smash a heart button, right? To just show appreciation of Sean. Like Sean is openly sharing what he did, right? In terms of purchasing Bitcoin. Some people hopefully don't take it the wrong way, right? But there's something like thank Sean, like appreciate Sean, right, for sharing so openly. Right. So Sean, we have a few minutes left before I know you have to go for something very important. Right. So can I just share, just ask you like 1 or 2 questions, right, about some of the things that happen recently in the market. So the first thing is recently Google announced, right, that's investing like I think if I'm not wrong, $15 billion into the Open Geo again, right? So like in India, right? So where do you think about the future of India, right? I think it's projected to be one of the biggest markets, right? And you see Facebook is investing in them, right? Google just recently invested in them. Do you have any thoughts about your perspective into India and where is it going to go in the next couple of years as compared to, let's say, China or the US or Russia?
Oh, brother. Hey, this one is an economics question. This one you must ask James. Okay.
James.
By the way, guys, doesn't mean you invest, you know everything. Okay. Now, in India, I'm not too familiar. But I share with you why. I've not been looking at India for quite some time, simply because their P ratio has always been very high. Their P ratio is at the range of about US, you know. So again, based on what I remember, we can check again. India ETF. But I remember when I first looked at India, I was looking at India and China because their population growth is the fastest. By the way, do you all know which one is the third fastest growing population in the world? Which city? China, India. Guess what's the next one? Because, okay, so very interesting. All got to do with people's thinking. They feel that population, Singapore, why need to have 7 million, 10 million people? They're very angry, right? Based on economics, population does sustain your economy. Reason being, imagine your economy, you're doing the burger, you're the burger shop, right? Then you have lesser and lesser customers. Why? Because population shrink, that's where your economy will suffer. So population growth is a key indicator that this particular country, right, can grow a lot. China, India, they are super fast. That's why their economy is growing crazy fast. Okay, so I didn't look at India. Reason, very simple. Reason being their P ratio for the whole entire market, right, is pretty developed. It's very interesting. The P ratio is about 20 plus. US is also about 20 plus. So you're buying a very like developed and mature economy like US, right? And a still developing economy like India, right? At the same price. So I'm also thinking I'm a bit confused. Then when I look at China, wow, the P ratio below 10 only. So myself, I focus on that. So I did not look a lot about India, at India. But your guess which one is the third one? The third one. Or Indonesia. They also Indonesia, Brazil. Okay. Actually, it is Nigeria, you know. Wow. It's Nigeria. So Nigeria is the third one. You can go and take a look at Nigeria. So Nigeria, the P ratio, everything in the whole entire market is very low. Reason being, right, it is still developing. It's still developing. They have a lot of issues. But if you believe in the future, somehow they will sort it out. They may shoot up a lot. However, right, I don't know whether you all know. It is just a speculation, you know, because they have never shown any indicators where they can really grow a lot. Okay, they cannot never don't invest in Vatican City. Okay, so like almost 50, 60 years ago, that doesn't mean a country is small and growing. It can grow a lot, you see. So like last time, right, I heard something. I heard that I don't know whether it's Zimbabwe or another country, right? Their GDP per head is same as Singapore one. Same. Right now, Singapore is one of the top in the world, and they are still down there. They are still at the bottom. So doesn't mean there's comfort going on. Okay, back to earnings. Yes.
Question from Doris. Some stock real earnings do better, do worse. So if you think that the real earnings is good, does it mean you should invest before announced earnings? So I think Doris is just asking, like, should we, like, even instead of waiting for the earnings to come out, right, should we just invest in companies before rather than just waiting for it? So what do you think about this, Sean?
Okay, so what is the outcome that you're hoping for, Doris? What's the desired outcome you're hoping for? Okay, so maybe because very hard for you to type out. Okay, so Nigeria also got a lot of scams. So Doris, are you hoping? Okay, best case scenario, are you hoping that they beat earnings and price shoot up? Then what? Are you going to sell off? So let's say they beat earnings, price shoot up. Are you going to sell off? A, sell off. B, you're going to keep for long term. Tell me A or B first. Let's say you're right now. Obviously, we know that Netflix is going to do well, correct? Obviously, we know that some companies like maybe probably Zoom is going to do better. So A, so let's say you expect this company confirm they're going to make a lot of money. So if they really make a lot of money, what are you going to do? Are you going to A, sell, or B, keep? Now, if you say A, right, I can tell something now. You are just speculating. You know why? Because, right, you are not just guessing the earnings. You're not just guessing they can do well, but you're guessing they can do well enough for people to think that it's good enough to go up. So you're guessing two things. Now, it's easier to guess whether the company does well or not. It's easy. Okay, like I told you, I think Netflix will do well. Okay, I may be wrong even then, but actually use the brain to go and think they will do well because their subscribers increase a lot. So no reason why they don't do well. Yeah, plus nowadays got one more new Korean show. What is that? Something good enough. My wife watched until...
I watched one Korean show so far this entire COVID.
What do you watch?
The Secretary Kim or something. Then...
Oh, okay, Secretary. What's wrong with
Secretary?
First one. Watch a lot. Hey, but the one is not... Okay, anyway, I want to tell this. It's easy to guess the business part. It's difficult to guess the people part. Again, if you want the stock price to shoot up, right, you are thinking that the stock market that is good enough. So, okay, maybe I can guess, okay, this student is going to do well in class because very consistent. Wow, study very hard, do well in class. But after this person do well, right, will this person's mother be happy? You know what I'm saying? Will this person's mother be happy? So this person score 99. Wow, 99. You tell me the mother will be happy or not? I don't know. No, you're trying to guess the mom. You're not trying to guess the kid. So you must get first you must have two things correct. One is that he must really do well. Second one is the expectation of him doing well makes people happy. Wow, that part is very difficult to guess. It's very difficult. So Warren Buffett already said that the market, okay, his teacher said that the market is a crazy psychotic. So, okay, with all due respect, I'm not saying any mothers or fathers are nowadays very sensitive, say these kind of things. Don't what was it called? Pofma. Okay, I'm not spreading fake news or don't ask police to catch me. But I'm trying to tell you, imagine, let's say this child, his parents is a crazy psychotic. He score well, he score 99 in class. Or even 100 in class. Go back.
Somehow still
happy or not happy. Will the parents be happy or not happy? Well, how to guess? That's the part I can't guess. Okay, so I do not know. You should. Okay, so if you want to buy before earnings, you want to buy after earnings, that's up to you. But if you want to guess the earnings straight away spike and then you sell off, that's the part I cannot quite guess. Sometimes we are right, sometimes we are wrong. When we are right, we feel like, wow, we're super smart. But there are times when you're wrong, then you're wrong not because you're wrong about the company, but you're wrong because the stock market goes down even after you're right. That part is very devastating for a lot of people. Okay? But if you don't mind holding it long term, just go ahead. You want to buy before, after also can. Okay. So that's my point. That's my point. Okay, wow.
Wow. So we end on the dot. Yeah. So thanks, Sean. I think you share a lot of like great stuff, like a lot of great wisdom, right? And you also focus on the fundamentals, right? Instead of playing the earnings and making sure later your kid get 99, the mother also still angry somehow. So we don't know, right? We don't know. So I think that's a great analogy, right? So thanks, Sean. I think so thank you so much. So I will see you next Thursday again, right? For Tycoon Thursday, right? I hope Resh is better than can come on, but thank you, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Sean. All right, guys. So if you like this sharing, if you like the sharing by Sean, right, help me type yes, right? Help me type yes, and right, I'm going to announce a very quick giveaway, right? I'm going to announce a very quick giveaway, and what I'm going to do, right, is after I announce the quick giveaway, I'm still going to share a bit more about what I would personally do, right, during this earnings period, right? And I've been investing for close to 10 years, so I can share. If you want me to share, say yes, you want, right? Yes, I want, right? I'm going to share. But a quick giveaway, right? So what you're going to do, right, is you can take a photo, right? Take a screenshot, right, of my sharing, Sean sharing, and share your 3 biggest lessons, right? Share your 3 biggest lessons, share them on Facebook, right? Share them on Facebook, right? And what happened is myself, Resh, we actually picked 5 lucky winners, right? 5 lucky winners to win $50 from us, right? So share your biggest lessons learned, we'll share with you, and you'll get $50. Just share your biggest lessons learned, and for you, right, you actually get to internalize the lessons from here as well. So some of my biggest learnings was great, right? It's about the fundamentals, right? Don't think about just about the don't think just about playing the earnings, right? So that's something that I would like to do for myself. Okay, so very quickly, right, I know it's still a bit early. I'm going to spend just a few more minutes, right, just to share a bit more about what I would personally do during this period, right, and actually how I can get greater returns for myself as well, right? So if you like me to share, right, let me type yes, right, let me type yes, and I'll go through it very quickly. Right, so one thing to remember, right? Like, remember we talk about cryptocurrencies. Remember that Sean didn't buy to invest, right? Bought it to test it out, to scuttlebutt, to actually find out how is Bitcoin doing right now? Like, do people really want to do it? Right, so I say Hovind says yes, Tony says yes, right? Veronica says yes. So very quickly, right, I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do, right? And this is something that I do. So very quickly, right, I'm going to share with you my foundation. Some of you don't know me, right? So I'm going to just share with you my quick foundation. I personally have 2 portfolios, right? So one for stocks, right, and one for options, right? And stocks is where I buy for the long term, right? So if my favorite stocks actually goes down about 10 to 20%, I find it's a good value, I'm going to just buy more. So very quickly, that's how I actually gain my returns, right? Because on the long term, I know these are companies that are going to go up, right? I've done it for companies like Facebook, right? They've shot down during the period, right? I've bought more. So for what happened is for my options, right? So why I love options is that first you get to reduce your risk, right? You get to reduce your risk and you actually accelerate your returns, right? And one thing I do is especially during earnings period, because where things are a bit more volatile, right? That's when there's news and things will move quickly. I'll use this one website, right? So let me just show you very quickly. Right, very quickly. So what I'll do is actually I'll just look at biggest losers stocks, right? And I'll just go to Yahoo Finance, right? And usually at for Singapore time 9:30, 10 p.m. when the market goes open, right? And what I'll do is I'll look at the biggest losers, right? And look biggest losers. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to see what are the companies that have dropped significantly, right? So about 5%, 3%, right? I'll just go. So Zynga, you see, drop, right? If there's a company that you are looking at, you can look at it. Fortinet, right? You can check out Fortinet, right? Some of the companies that I look at personally, right? NIO is oh wow, actually went up over the past few months, right? And that's what I do, right? So very quickly I look at what the companies. So far, right? At least in terms of the companies in my watch list, right? Because the market is closed and everything, right? There isn't many. But what happened is I can actually look at it when the market opens to see what are the biggest losers and what happened. Right, and what happened after that, right, is I'm going to say if it's a good fundamental company that is my watch list, right, I can either buy an option, right, right, or I can buy a stock. And this is and using my rules, using the criteria, I know that it's going to get me money over the long term. So I love this thing called scandals, like Sean said. I love this thing that is called what I call bad news, right? Bad news, because when the stock drops, and it's because of short-term news. Right, short-term news that don't affect the fundamentals of the company, and then I'll start purchasing more, and then I'll start purchasing, and that's how I gain my massive returns during this period, especially with options investing. Please share with me of Arsenal's result. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. So why do you keep 2 accounts? And what I do is, right, with separate, right, I can be a bit more active in options, right, and for stocks, I actually can buy over the long term, right. So with that, very quickly, right, I hope that that helps. And I'm going to share with you very quickly about options program. Because a lot of people have been messaging me about, can you teach more about options investing, right? I'm going to share with you very quickly about what options investing is about and how you can actually get personal guidance, right? Whether it's from me, from Resh, from Sean, right? Where we actually teach you about everything you need to do about options. So very quickly, let me put it here. And it all starts with this, right? The whole reason why we are doing this and why we launched this program is because we completely subscribe into Warren Buffett's philosophy about first investing in yourself, right? If you agree with me about the importance of investing in yourself, help me type me, right? Because that's going to be so important. Invest in yourself, right? That's the first thing we do. And that's why we offer this program. So myself, Sean, right? We used to train, right? Resh, right? Resh himself, right? We offer this program called Options Millionaire Intensive. And very quickly, this program is for beginners or advanced, right? And so whether you're starting or whether you are someone who has been in the investing game for a while, this is a program that's going to be absolutely perfect for you, right? And there's an online batch, right? It's a 3 full days, so you can watch it anytime from anywhere in the world from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we do provide you with the recordings as well, right? So very quickly, right, before I go on to share a bit more about options, right? So what we learn, right? How you can create instant cash flow under the direct guidance from the master himself, right? How can you profit from the same exact techniques that Buffett's use? So for Resh, for Sean, they've been mentored by Mary Buffett for very long, for years, right? In fact, and what you're going to do is profit from the same exact set of techniques that the Buffetts use themselves, right? How can you grow your wealth more powerfully by increasing your returns per capita? And so especially, right, especially if you're having a small capital sum, right, with options, not only do you get to lower your risk, right, you manage your risk, you actually can generate extremely powerful returns, right? And how ultimately you can profit massively from a market crash. So when the crash does come, when wave 2 comes and the market panics, right, how can you actually profit massively instead of watching helplessly as your portfolio goes into the red? So who is this for? Very quickly, right? These are for people who, this group, right? People with desire, right? People who are starting, or people who say, yes, I want to achieve something for myself, right? I don't want to be stuck with the same old results that I've been having for a long time. I have desire to achieve greater returns for myself, right? And this is one guy called Daksha. He's an amazing boy, right? He started when he was 11 years old, and right now in 14, right? He's actually starting to teach and actually promote financial education, investment education to his fellow peers at his age group, and sharing so much positive impact with them. Right? And the second group, right? We want people who are open, right? People who are willing to empty their cups. Because the third thing is, right, if you read your books, you watch videos, you go to other programs, right, you can receive so much information, right? But the thing is, if you're stuck with a lot of the old information that might not work anymore, right, the program might not be perfect for you. So that's the thing is, we want people who are open to learning, people are opening our cups, and that's how you actually can generate massive profits for yourself as well, right? So we have a few, someone as old as 78, 80 years old to actually attend the program, right? And what you can do, right, during this program is you get to, not only do you get to copy live trade posts, right? So whether it's Resh, Sean, the trainers, right, they actually share their actual trades they have done, right? And we have, this is one of the many testimonials. So those who are watching, right, can you just share, for those who have attended OMI, can you just share a bit about your returns, right, during this entire period, right? How have your returns been during this entire period? Have you recovered your cost fees, right? What are the ROI you've been getting, right? And this is just one of the many stories, right, we've been getting over the past few years, right? Chishu is one of our best students, right? He actually grew his portfolio like crazy in just a matter of weeks, and you can actually get it way much faster, right? Because of whatever is happening during this COVID period as well. Right, a lot of our students actually have been featured in newspapers, right? They got to achieve financial freedom many times, right? And this is just some of the things that we teach you, right? And the total value is about $35,000, right? And the total investment, right? How much does it cost, right? Typically, it's about $3,000, right? Very quickly, about $3,000, and this is a receipt from one of our previous programs, right? Right, but the thing is, tonight, right? Tonight, if we give you an incredible webinar special tonight during Tycoon Thursdays, right? What we're gonna do is, for the next 15 minutes only, right, is going to be, right, 597. So 597 USD, right, for a program that could potentially change your life, to change the trajectory of your investment results, especially to take massive advantage during this period. And I think a lot of students here watching right now, they know that they have benefited so much, which is why they constantly promote their program. They've been sharing great stuff about it. Okay, so, right, it's just 49 a month, right? If you're just putting over 12 months, right, $1.60 a day to potentially change your life. A skill set that lasts a lifetime, right? And all you have to do is a one-time payment for it, right? So very quickly, 3 bonuses for action takers, right? And the bonus one, right? You actually go for a live trading session, right? You go for a live trading session with Resh himself, right? And he does it ever since I started, right? He has been conducting live training sessions. He loves it. He loves conducting live training sessions as well. And what we're gonna do, right? You're gonna jump with us, and how it's gonna work is you do, right? The trainer, the Resh does, and you guys watch. You guys watch is how he thinks, right? Why he chose a particular stock, what's his trade, and you guys watch. And after that, right? After that, you guys do, right? And then we guide you as well how you go about doing it with your platform, right? And right, what I'm gonna do is it's gonna be a special bonus class on a Friday night, right? In Singapore time, 9:30 p.m. when the market opens, right? It's very limited of slots available, and the steps to take is as follows, right? You go to pdamerictrade.com, sign up and download a free demo account and take action. So very simply, this is a very simple way for you to actually take the first step into achieving the kind of life that you want through options investing. So a very special surprise is Sean will be there as well. So every time we try to encourage Sean to come down, and he doesn't do it very often, right? He only does it during this period, during the COVID-19 period, because there's a lot of volatile, a lot of things are going on, and that's when Sean will be coming on board as well. All right, so that's bonus number one, right? That's bonus number one, right? Some of the draft results that we have, right? Bonus number two, very simply, right? We're gonna have a live 3-day class as well. Right, so you're gonna meet Resh live. I'm gonna be there as well to help out. Right, Sean is gonna be there live as well. It's gonna be a live 3-day program when the COVID-19 restrictions are removed. Right, it's gonna be a live 3-day class that you got to come as well. Right, the room capacity is definitely fixed, and we cannot. There's a limited slots. Right, so obviously it's gonna be a lot more exclusive, a lot more limited. Right, and that's number two. Right, you're gonna see us live, and we're gonna help you out personally. Right, bonus number three. Right. You're going to get a VIP access card. So very quickly, you get a VIP access card with limited slots available, right? You get a whole training video. People pay thousands of dollars to get the training over here, right? And you get Resh entire cash flow generating stocks list, right? And the companies that make him money every single month has made him record profits, right? No joke, right? And it's something that, especially during this coronavirus period, right? What are the exact stocks that Resh has used to actually create maximum and record profits for himself, right? So all the bonuses together is worth more than $20,000, right? Is what I call a no-brainer deal, right? It's 597, and just remember, guys, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And very quickly, right, all you have to do is sign up via this website at www.reshomi.com, and where you can find out the first available dates, right? So reshomi.com is where you can get it. Right, and it's something that's changed a lot of people's lives. So can I just see very, very quickly, right? Can I just see very quickly who here has been have benefited from what we have taught about OMI, right? I'm going to share some of your results, guys, over here, right, on how you do. Right, so Aaron says definitely recommend to attend. Right, I can earn back the cost fee very, very, very soon. That's absolutely true. Right, recovered cost fee. Doris is saying as well, generating weekly income now. Right, so obviously if you want to be more active, you can generate weekly income. If you want to be a bit more passive, right? A bit more passive, right? You can definitely generate a lot more semi-passive income as well. And what you're gonna do is you can reduce your risk, right? You can reduce your risk through options. So remember, guys, the website is reshomi.com. There's something you can check out as well, right? And what Cassandra said, right? Cassandra said, I attended OMI at the end of May this year, right? And the best investment ever. So made my first profit, and that's going to be the start of the results to come, right? It's just a start of the results to come, right? So remember, guys, it's reshomi.com. And what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to take a bit of time because we're still a bit early right now. The market has opened. I'm going to just stay on for about 10-15 minutes just to answer some of the questions you have. So if you have any questions, whether it's about market, about the program, just feel free to put in a comment. I'm going to share with them. And for myself, right, so for myself, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm a mentor as well, right? So I've been learning from Resh for close to 10 years, right? I've been learning from Sean for about more than 5 years. And this is something that I do, this is something I'm passionate about, and this is something that I'm very, very passionate about, because options investing has definitely helped to accelerate my returns, right, to a 6-digit profit in record time, at least for myself, right? So Hanwei asks, is this a one-time or it's a one-time payment? So one-time payment of 597. And actually, if you know, right, if you go outside the programs, workshops that's out in the market right now, right, a lot of the programs are like thousands of dollars, right? They charge thousands of dollars, right? And the thing is, the results can be mixed, but for ourselves, right, it's 597. And the wonderful thing is you get to actually keep the recordings for a lifetime. So you get a lifetime recording. So even if you can't make it, right, even if you can't make it for the actual live session, right, you actually get to watch the recordings at your own time as well, right? And the results that people have been getting has been a record, right? And do we think that the record results will stop, not at the moment, right? Our take is the market will still continue to go up bullish for a long time, right? But even then, even the market goes down, there are actually strategies that I use, that Resh used during March, right? That actually have helped us to achieve record profits. You can check my profile, right, for my old posts, right? While everybody's portfolio was in the red, right? Resh, myself, our portfolio has been like massively in the green, right? We have been receiving record profits during this period as well, right? So this is a one-time payment, right? So people ask, is this a scam? Guys, we are here every Thursday night, right here every Thursday night to talk about options. We are here every Thursday night to talk about the markets, right? If you think we are shady and all, right, we want to be coming on live every Thursday night, right, to share about it. So Resh unfortunately wasn't available, but when you hear Resh, right, in his live trade calls, when he teaches, right, you know that he absolutely delivers. So guys, right, reshomi.com, right, definitely guys, the results speak for itself, right? I think you see in the comments, right? It's just a sample of the results you have seen for what we have done, right? So Cheryl asks, hi Mark, I'm attending this coming session in a week's time, right? Yeah, paper trade. So definitely start a paper trade. What's going you to practice? And one thing is we also get you to use the platform as well, so you can get to apply and implement for yourself as well, right? So if you know me, one thing that I love about OMI, which is that it's not just about theory, right? It's not just about concepts, it's not just about principles, right? We actually get you to practice, right? There's homework, there's exercises for you to actually internalize the things that you got to do. All right, Veronica says, Resh always over-delivers, that is great. All right, Stanley, what is wildcard revenue in euro? Yeah, that's the default by Morningstar. Right, hi, I'm thinking it's coming. Yeah, so paper trade account is definitely good, right? Nearly 100%. So Tony, right? Tony has nearly 100% million week and power of options, right? So guys, very quickly, right? It's not something that happens every day, right? As in, we say 100%, Tony, wonderful, great job. But right now, right, it's not something that happens every day, but right now is a great period, right, to get started, right, with guidance, with practice, not just theory, not just reading books, but to actually hear from people who have done it before, right, for a long period of time. I think Resh, Sean, they've done it for about 10 years. I've done it for about 8 to 9 years for myself, right? And yeah, so that's what we do, right? That's what I do on a regular basis. And this, we've been talking to some of the most experienced traders around, and they're saying that these are unprecedented times, right? In terms of the market movements, right? In terms of volatility, in terms of what you're going to do, right? These are unprecedented times, and what you do is using options, right? Using options to manage your risk, right? And also to increase and accelerate your returns as well, right? Do you guys do live trades after OMI? Guys, for those who are 3 a.m. club, guys, for those who are in the 3 a.m. club, right, can you just help me answer what Kelvin is asking? Do you guys do live trades after the OMI as well? Right? Right? So the short answer is absolutely yes, we do live trade sessions as well. Right? So stay tuned. Right? We're going to share. Right? So Tony, this is not a scam. I met Resh personally. Right? He's the real deal. All right? So Carol, right? Will we still be around? Right, guys? We have so many avenues for you to get support from us, right? After the event, right? So this is one thing that we do every Thursday. We do Tycoon Thursdays as well, right? We work with Sean, Resh, right? They share about the current market updates, what they're doing, the quality of earnings, they share about new topics, right? Resh does live trading sessions as well, right? We have a whole, you check our profiles, right? We have a whole influx of stuff they got to do, right? For what you can do. So Carol, right? The short answer is yes. Right, I want to reschedule the next session as I can't make it for next week. So absolutely, you can just drop an email to the team, right? You can definitely do it for sure, right? So hello at thenextlevel.co, right? Not go hello at teamresh.com, right? So hello at teamresh.com. You email us for any questions about rescheduling and everything. That's what we can do for you, right? Connie says yes to be around so much. Absolutely, right? So guys, any more questions? I'll still be around, right? Is it a market? If it's a market, that's fine as well, right? And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Right, but yeah, something I want to say, right? Something like I want to reiterate again, like one of the modules, right? It's one of my favorite modules of the entire program. So the thing is, if you learn about options before, you learn about stocks before, right? That's great and all, right? You know the theory, but a lot of people still struggle because one thing that a lot of investing programs don't emphasize on, they tend to talk about it and everything, right? But one thing that OMI they emphasize on is the characteristics and the mindset, right? And the mindset of successful investors. Right, and we have one whole module which is tailored towards what are the characteristics of successful investors, right? And that's one thing that we do that it's not just about the theory, right? It's about how you implement, it's about how you take action as well. So that's one thing that I love about the program, right? And that's something that check out for yourself. Right, Faraga says, thanks, I love your t-shirt. Yeah, right. This is something that we have been shipping out. Right. So one more rep. Right. I know you're gonna get it, Monica. I love my t-shirt. Right. So we're gonna get it out very soon. Right. So Kelvin says, I want to make my course feedback. I just trade less than 2 months. Right. It's just one of the many stories. Right. So thanks, Kelvin, for sharing. Right. That's something I'm gonna do. So Angie says both Resh and Sean are really givers. Right. Angie didn't mention me. No. Right. But definitely Resh and Sean, they are my mentors. Right, and these are people who are huge givers, and together, right, together in Team Resh, our big gift is we don't just want people to make money, right? We actually want to build the largest community of givers in the world. So for sure, right, we are happy when people make money, but one thing that we always share, one thing we always encourage people is when you make money to start giving, right? Because the more money you give, the more money you get back, right? So that's something to do as well, right? My pleasure, Tony. Right, that's great. That's great. Any yearly subscription fee, right? So there's no subscription fee to the software and whatnot. It's a one-time fee, right? It's a 597, right? It's at reshomi.com. Just remember www.reshomi.com. But there's not going to be like some recurring software and everything. So you get lifetime access to the recordings and the bonuses that we have for you as well. HK. Right. Hi, Doris. So Doris asked a question. So, hey, Mark, just now you mentioned about taking opportunity buying the good stocks. Do you buy? So for me, Doris, so I think you have your OMI, so that's great for me. You can sell put, right? But I only sell put when it's really at the stock that I want to buy. So for me personally, I don't really sell as many puts because what I do is I buy a lot of call options, right? And why call options? Because I get to manage my risk during this entire period, right? During COVID, right? People are worried. So a lot of my funds right now are tied in cash, and it's not possible if not for options. So very simply, very openly, like sharing, like I have one stock called Garena, right? So guys, have you heard of Garena, right? How many of you have invested in Garena after what we shared during OMI and our live trade sessions? Garena SE, right? I bought stocks, right? And then I bought a call option, right, on a similar company, right, that's doing very well as well. But my gains, right, in just a very small move for my call option, right, was the same, almost the same exact gains as my stocks. And why? It's because with options, you actually accelerate your returns. Your ROI is so much higher, right? My pleasure, right? My pleasure, Doris. So for me, right, I buy calls, but definitely if you like the stock, right, you can actually sell put as well. But I like calls because that's actually why I get to accelerate my returns. Buy puts, sell puts is when actually I want to buy the stock, but it's not at the price I want yet. But let me sell put options to actually gain cash flow. So one of the most powerful strategies that we teach that even Warren Buffett uses himself is that even instead of waiting for stock to go to the price you want to buy, how about I get paid? How about I get paid while waiting to actually purchase the stock? Right? How much capital required to start and follow a trade recommended sell call? You can start as low as $500, right? You start as low as $500. Obviously, what you want to do is depending on your portfolio size, there are different strategies. We'll share a bit more about portfolio management, right? But definitely can start as low as $500. OMI is the program, Mary. So OMI is the program, and we use this platform called Think or Swim, right? Think or Swim, tdameritrade.com. Right, so as low as $500, that's something you can start, and people recover their cost fees. I've known stories of people getting 100%, 200% returns during this entire period in just a matter of months, right? Just a matter of months. And this is not me trying to like oversell it. This is absolutely real stories. People have been getting more than 100, 200% returns, right? In just a matter of weeks, in just a matter of months. I think Tony shared earlier that he in just 1 month, actually 1 week, he actually got 100% ROI. Oh, Doris, yeah, thinking me, right? Thinking like how I do, right? In terms of stocks, right? In terms of how I look at stocks, right? So SE buy call or sell put, right? Will you be added to another Facebook group for support? So Kelvin, what it's going to do is you're going to be added to a Facebook group, right? You're going to be added to a Facebook group to actually have the sharing, and you get to ask a question during the 3 days, right? The post support wise, right? There's still a lot of other avenues that can have it. Whether it's this group, right? Resh has his own group as well, right? Sean has his own group. Right, that's how you actually get support. There are a lot of ways you can get support, right, on how you're going to do, right? So guys, right, if you are in my group, right, let me know if you're in my group, if you're getting great support, right, from the community and whatnot, right? Drop like crazy, wonderful, right? So actually, SC, great day, you know what to do, right? If you like the stock, you have conviction, you know what to do when SC has been dropping, right? I love it when it's great days, right? Usually it's green days, so I get a bit very sad about it. Yeah. So the physical live class, right? It's not just 17 people in the live class, right? The thing is, we got to limit the batches. We got to limit the allocation, right? So I think a few of we have quite a number of signups here. I don't know if there's still slots, but what happened is the live class, right? Is going to be when people come down, whether it's Singapore to Malaysia, we're going to conduct a class live when all the restrictions are removed. Right, so Rehan, that's something to consider. I would strongly encourage you to sign up at reshomi.com. Right, not used to normal ways, right? So definitely stocks, there's still a place in your portfolio, especially with a bigger portfolio and everything. But if you're starting out from small, if you want to actually play, test it out, right? Options is a great way for you to actually gain accelerated returns while managing your risk, but only if you follow the rules, only follow the criteria. But let's say, guys, the fact of the matter is, right, people, when you ask people about options, right, some people might tell you, say it's dangerous, right? Some people might say it's a scam and whatnot. But the reason why a lot of people lose money on options, right, and same thing with stocks, same thing with forex, right, is that they don't follow the rules, right? So Resh, in what we does in OMI, right, is doing a 3-day program, right? We are not going to give you like 25 advanced complicated strategies all at once to learn. What we're going to do is to actually equip you with the most important criteria, the strategies, right, to actually get you to your accelerated return. So that's what we do, right, from our side. Right, so the thing is, you got to follow your rules, and you can gain the results they've been looking for, right? And there have been people that there's been one story I know of this guy called Jet. He started from a 4-digit portfolio, right, from starting of this year, and right now he's at a 6-digit portfolio, right? So this guy called Jet, he's in the community as well. So Jack, Jack, that's a great question, but it really depends on your portfolio size, right? So that's something that we go through our portfolio management, right? So the thing is, if you're starting out, you are new and you're a bit more active, right? Feel free to have a bit more aggressive on options, but it really depends on your risk preference, how active you're going to be, right? How experienced you are. So that's something that we go through during the actual OMI program. So that's a great question, Jack. Jeremy, yeah. So that's a great question, Jeremy. So one thing, like I say again, so the strategy is just a mechanism for us to get returns. But one thing that in the long term to get sustainable returns, right, is this thing called portfolio management, which is what we'll share during the Options Millionaire Intensive program as well, right? And would I suggest to hold a side question? Absolutely, we're going to hold cash. And what happens is when the portfolio moves, when the stock goes, we actually have cash and we can still use it to make our moves. The thing is, the worst thing will happen, right, when there's a market correction, right, even when you know the stocks, even when you know the strategy, is that you don't have the cash to execute it. So whether is it right now, whether is it 1 year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, right, at least for us in Options Millionaire Intensive, right, we definitely want to hold cash, right, so we can take advantage when the opportunity comes. Right, so I'm definitely keeping my cash. I'm definitely keeping a lookout for SE as well. Twitter got hacked. It dropped 3%, right? That's something that I'm looking at, right? I'm not saying I'm going to buy it or not, but that's something I'm looking at with options, right? You get to really limit your risk at the same time as well. So Jeremy, that's a great question. Right, Rehan signed up, wonderful, right? So I'll see you soon, Rehan, right, during the program, right? And yeah, definitely, we have students that take it. We have students as young as 11 years old taking it right now, right? And yeah, that's what's totally possible, man. Okay, so any last few questions before I sign off, right? And yeah, so my take, right? My take is, with Mary. Mary has a great question, right? Easy to understand for a newbie, right? So guys, for those who have invested, for those who are in OMI, you have invested the last 6 months, right? Share your experiences. Do you think it's easy to understand for newbies, right? So my short answer is yes, right? Yes, it is, right? Because we don't go like 20 like complicated strategies, complex. We go to the fundamentals, the foundation, the most important criteria and all, right? And it's meant to be simple to understand, that even any people as young students, 11 years old to like grandparents as old as 80 can understand it. So is it easy to understand? Our short answer is absolutely yes, right? And right, even if it's tough, right, what happens is we still have the recordings we'll give to you. You get to still ask questions as well. We have mentors to be there on standby to answer any questions you have during the time as well. So that's your answer, Mary. Right, I look forward to seeing you there, Mary. It's www.reshomi.com. Right, so NG says OMI is an absolutely must for everyone who wants to invest properly. Thank you, NG. Right, yeah. So I think so far, I think since we started this program, right, I think we have more than 1,000 students, and really for the people who at least have been messaging me and be following the program, right, they have benefited a lot, right? I can't say like 1,000, like everybody, right, have achieved the results they want, but for the ones I know who take action, the one who ask questions, the ones who actually take action and implement, right, they've been receiving record results during this period. And why is because I have my own mentees as well. I have my own community. I know what they're doing, right? I know what's happening, and I know that people have been achieving record profits like crazy. And what people used to take 1 year, right, is what people used to profit in a much shorter period of time. Okay, so I'm going to sign off very soon, right? I'm going to sign off very soon. But one thing, right? One thing I'm going to leave off with for those investors out there, and thank you for those who are staying back, which is, so I don't know about you know about this company called ClickFunnels, right? So ClickFunnels is a company, is a marketing software company, right? And they in a recent interview, right, they reviewed that what they usually take 1 year, right? What they usually take 1 year to in terms of getting their customers is what they're getting in 5 months or less, right? In months, right? So imagine for companies that are doing software, e-commerce, right? Like imagine the kind of growth that they can have over this period, right? Like, guys, it's something that you got to look at. And if you talk about this is a time of unprecedented opportunity, right? And it's what people say is going to be the greatest wealth transfer of all time, right? And something that you want to take part in it, right? Options Millionaire Intensive is one way you can definitely do to get there. Okay. So Brian, I think the last question. People are warning me options is dangerous. It's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Very short, right? If you don't know what you're doing, if you think that you can figure it yourself, so be it, right? Pay the tuition fees if you want to, right? But options is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Right, and what we do is Options Millionaire Intensive. We do live trade sessions to make sure that you know exactly how we go about executing a trade. There's homework you get to implement. Make sure that you don't do the wrong trades, you don't do wrong strategies, right? It's a step by step, right? It's not just theory, it's not just principles. It's how we implement. And right, and the last thing is we do have coaches, we do have mentors there to be on standby to answer any questions you can have. So as simply like what Doris said, is dangerous if you don't know how to do it. Okay. Yep. So with that, guys, all you have to do is tag some of the biggest lessons you learned from this. Right, we're gonna give a giveaway. Right, like I said, we're gonna do a giveaway for those who share their biggest lessons during this period. Right, and we're gonna end this session, and we're gonna see you next Thursday for the next Tycoon Thursdays. All right, so bye everyone. Right, see you and invest safe, and all the best. Bye bye.